offline e online. Buongiorno. Anche oggi abbiamo un pochino di tempo, quindi approfittiamone. Mettiamo un po' di ordine.
Now that we're here, perhaps we could spend a bit of time relaxing rather than planning?
Non ho ancora guardato... No, ok. Dicevo che non avevo fatto in tempo a googlare, volevo vedere se per caso qua si potesse fare l'adesivo, ma la risposta è no. Come non detto. Allora, mettiamo giù tutto. E andiamocene. Quindi teniamoci una cosa per tipo... Va bene, dai. No. No, 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 no. Ok. In realtà la cosa che volevo fare era... Allora. Vestiaria, va bene. E questo qua... di metterlo su un qualche preferito. Esatto. Perché sennò continuo a buttarlo giù per sbaglio. Andiamo qua dalla banca, diciamo che ho preso i soldi. Sparo un colpo come al solito. E poi ce ne andiamo dai pirati.
Good luck out there.
Ciao.
I mean, my favorite credit analyst. You got Mr. Maliki to pay up, alive no less. Now this is what my superiors are thrilled, ecstatic. Absolutely. Listen, I'm really feeling this working together, aren't you? So if you want another delinquent, let me know. We'll keep this going. But here is your well-deserved finder's fee. I threw in a little extra for handling it well. It's a real pleasure to see you again. Absolutely. We make sure... True,
Blah, blah,
collections
blah,
isn't...
blah, 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 blah.
We have to try. Those are credits that could have been, or they could take a bite out of our share prices. I mean, all sorts of retirement funds pay out a little less. I know it seems, well, hopeless. But what we do matters.
Perché proviamo col tablet. Quindi niente altre taglie.
As always, Galbank makes personal finance easy. Money, as long as you have some, should
Hey.
never be something
E
you
tu
worry
chi sei?
about handling.
Yeah, good talk. Yeah, find a Galbank teller and deposit all your creds into my bank account. It'll be paid, of course. Eventually. Trying to get a job at Galbank. It's the big building with the word Galbank on it. You're welcome. Anyway, yeah, I'd like to be a banker. It'll be fun.
Mm.
Because magic isn't real, which means I can't be a necromancer. I figured being a soul-sucking banker was the next best thing.
Beh, comunque ha un senso, eh.
Why? It's so much more fun to be lonely and miserable, but fine. I like to paint, I like to crochet, pretty much hate everything else. You're starting to grow on me, though. Like a fungus. But I like mushrooms. Guess that's the third thing. Mm-hmm.
Ok.
If there is any way I can assist you, I'd be happy to.
I got a new job. So chalk this one up to a very fine but clearly overworked credit checker that accidentally approved. I'm thinking conversation is not. You. Here's all the details. Good luck out there.
Boh. So, immaginavo che... No. E immaginavo che tipo potessi dire a quei tizi: ehi, quella ragazza vuole lavorare per voi. Ah, che bello, grazie. Per andare dai pirati, mi è venuto in mente fare una cosa importante. Sara monovestito, e per carità.
It's good to be home.
Sì. Ta-dan. Sono riuscito a perdere il cappello della... Sono riuscito a perdere il cappello. Quindi qualcosa da
I
dirmi?
feel like I bet you never expect. Take care of yourself.
No?
Ever since as much as I love uncovering new questions. Okay, let's. Great, let's see what. Stay safe, okay?
Ok. Ah, ora sì che ci siamo. Andare dei pirati.
Please let me know if I may assist you. Be my guest. I'm glad you came in.
Andiamo solo becco facile, se no... Amen. Dai, questi caricamenti infiniti, che noia.
wonder how the Crimson Fleet seems to be everywhere? It is because they have
Dudes you can trust.
Questo, quello e poi quello della nave e basta. Altri non saprei, quindi va bene così.
You're only... I would never dream. Please do.
Sto prendendo troppo tempo. Ah, guarda, ricompra e niente. Perfetto, siamo già a posto.
Good luck on all your adventures.
Sono già resettati. Strano.
I'm pleased to report that our stocks are currently being made.
Blah,
Welcome
blah,
to UC
blah,
Distribution.
blah, 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 blah.
I hope we...
Ok.
Back to it then.
E come ultima possibilità
Need some work done?
oh, cappellino perso. Amen.
How you doing, Sweet Pea?
Well, I'm okay. But I'd be a lot better if...
Non so se il letto singolo mi dà il bonus. Perché in teoria Sara non ci sta.
How can I be of service, Captain?
Un momento.
Anything I can help you with? Okay.
Ok. c'è duplica. Modifica, applica, spostamento, opzioni, duplica. Ma scusa, cosa c'era lì? Ah, quindi era bucato proprio. Quindi qua ci sono gli orologi del capitano. E va bene. Stazione di controllo. Ingegneristica. Alloggi per i passeggeri. Magazzino inutile, vabbè. La mensa. Computer. Che abbiamo questo. Controllo, infermeria, alloggi, scientifico. Scientifico non c'è più. Officina. Guarda mica. Infermeria, officina, nucleo. Controllo, capitano. Ingegneristica. Passeggeri. Ok, in teoria spazio ce n'è abbastanza per tutti. Esc. Indietro. Controllo, tutto a posto. Ok.
Looks to me like you...
Quindi. Vabbè.
You thought that was crazy? Try it in zero G sometime.
Ho semplicemente incasinato peggio la nave. Va bene. Ah, perché quando giustamente modifico la nave mi riempie di sta roba qua. Vabbè. Comunque, poca roba, pazienza, non mi interessa. Andiamo, decolliamo. Ciao, benvenuto.
We have liftoff. Orbital insertion completed.
Andiamo.
Switching over to standard engines.
Hail acknowledged. Dock where you like.
We have a clean dock, right on the money.
Bene.
All right, Captain. Where are we headed next?
You said the take was 10K, but it was 30. Big difference on 40% of 10 versus 30.
You wanted 4K, you got 4K. Not my problem.
If you're stealing from me, you bet your ass it's your problem.
Damn it.
You kidding me? Way to make a mess in front of my new rook.
Hey, steal from me and get caught? Better off dead.
Sounds like you did the fleet a favor. Now toss this body out of an airlock before it turns into a damn air freshener. The hell took you so long? Forget how to grav jump or something?
Dunque, questa qua è il capo. Mi scuso, faccio il duro. Esagero.
Fair enough. Glad to see you showing some backbone. Just be careful that you can back up that attitude before you square off with someone who can kick your ass. But, all that aside, you made it. So now, you get to hear a nifty history lesson. Pencils ready? Good. This floating scrap heap you're standing on is called the Key. Used to be an old UC military star station, and now it's the fleet's base of operations. Might look a little beat up on the outside, but we keep it together. Sure did. Right out from under their noses. Way before you or I were born, though. We've held this station for a very long time. Don't worry. Delgado will tell you all about it. You think? And that's only part of it. I'll let Delgado fill you in on the whole story. He tells it better anyway. But I can give you the short version while we walk the station.
Story time? How delightful.
Anyway, I'll tell you all about the key. But it's better if I show you too. Follow me. All right. History time. So, the key is in orbit around Suvorov. That's the very same ice ball where the United Colonies built a supermax prison they call the Lock. The UC is so clever. Supermax prison, lock, key. Cute, huh?
Okay.
Now, we've got everything the fleet needs right here. Of course, you've got to pay for it. Remember, on the key, credits are king. What the hell is this?
All right, hang on, Nev. Before you get pissed, I've got my hands full.
Jasmine, sweetie, I'm trying to give a tour here. So you want to tell me why those damn doors are sealed?
It's called a malfunction. You know, that thing I spend most of my day dealing with. Believe me, my people are on it. Have a little faith for once.
Aw. And you always, Angel. This here's Jasmine. You need anything for your ship, she's got you covered. We'll hit up the depot next since these doors have given out on us. So anyway, we were talking about the Lock. About 100 years ago, the prisoners down there rioted and took over the place. After stealing some ships, they were actually able to make it up here and took over the key.
About time you brought us new blood, Neva. I was getting tired of trading with the same old
like to
faces.
discuss.
You're just ticked everyone's getting wise to your ridiculous prices, Aludra. Anyway, welcome to the depot, Rook, where you'll be lucky if these blood-sucking leeches don't bleed you completely dry.
Whoa, whoa. It's not our fault that people don't appreciate how much it costs to get untraceable merchandise onto the key.
Neva's just whining because she thinks she lost a ton of cash selling us a shipment of gear. She should have done her homework.
Yeah, sure, laugh it up. I'll remember that next time I need something from you cheapskates. Let's move on. Back to my story. After the liberated prisoners grabbed the key, they established it as a base of operations and began pirating the spaceways. That was how the Crimson Fleet began. Of course, Jasper Cricks had a lot to do with all that, but, we'll get to him later. Rook, meet Zuri, Queen of the Rare Exports.
If I don't have it, you don't need it.
Neuroamps, blueprints. Hit her up and she'll take care of you.
Speaking of which, you still owe me for that last purchase, Neva. It's like 5 figures. Don't make me collect it the hard way.
The hard way? Oh no. Rook, protect me from Zuri's vengeance. Enough of the bullshit, Zuri. I'll pay you when I pay you. Deal with it. Got a problem with that? Take it up with the boss.
If it's
On
hard
the
to
right,
find,
you've got
I've
Bradley
probably
from
got
the
it.
Trade Authority. I'm sure you know the deal there. He'll buy pretty much anything, no matter how hot. Then we got our med bay on the left, run by the one and only Samina Mizra. She'll patch you up, if you've got the money. We don't run any free clinics up in here, you don't? Okay, this is our final stop. Over there, you've got the Last Nova, where Bog serves watered-down drinks at ridiculously exorbitant prices. And right here is the most important place on the entire station, the Reckoner's Core, run by the incomparable Shinya Voss.
Another new Rook, Neva? I can't believe Delgado still lets you recruit, given what happened with the last one.
You mean Austin Rape? It's been taken care of, all right? I don't like loose ends, and this rook is the one who tied it off.
Perhaps next time you'll try to be a bit more discerning regarding your choices. It's far more cost-effective.
Yeah, love you too, darling. Anyway, Shinya handles our lifeblood. The money. We call him our reckoner, but if you ask me, he's actually a pain in the ass.
And Neva will slit your throat if she thinks you'll bleed creds.
Go to hell, boss. Take care of our new friend here, or I'll find a way to pull the pin on that little party popper in your chest. Anyway, Shinya will get you set up in our system. I've got real work to do. Once you're done, head upstairs and I'll introduce you to the boss.
Time for a proper introduction. I am Shinya Voss, the official reckoner for the Crimson Fleet. And since Neva so thoughtfully mentioned it, yes, this is a bomb embedded in my chest. And no, I'll never know the meaning of the word humble. In fact, I find Delgado's idea of a security measure to be quite empowering. Glad you approve. Obviously, betrayal isn't taken lightly around here. Since I oversee the bulk of transactions and maintain all accounts for the fleet, I'm a prime target for information. Should our enemies capture me or I grew any semblance of a moral conscience, you might consider me the greatest threat we have. For Delgado, the bomb grants peace of mind and a certain degree of safety. It's why he's the boss. Of course, I'm not the first reckoner to bear a bomb under my ribcage, but Delgado was smart enough to continue the tradition. Now, let me get you set up. A moment while I convene with the core. Thanks to advanced modifications even Ryujin would envy, I can interface directly with our mainframe and the Galbank network. This allows me to move and clean credits faster and more efficiently than any run-of-the-mill cyber runner. There, you're done. All you need now is Delgado's blessing, and you'll be one of us. None. Other than my chest and arm modifications, I am but a simple man. Is the interview over now? Can we get back to work? The perfect segue into my final subject. Thanks to our relations with contacts across the galaxy, we always have a steady stream of jobs available. I've granted you all the necessary permissions to access these listings at any time, using the computers that surround the core. Fine by me. There's plenty of others who do. You do less, you make less. It's a pretty simple equation. Now, I believe that covers all I have to say. So you can run along to Delgado. Take the elevator to the upper level. You should be able to find your way from there, I hope.
Alright, listen up. You can all stop complaining. Atrium to cargo bay doors have been repaired. Oh, and you're welcome, Nev.
alloggio del capitano, va bene. Dubito che sia una... tutta buona, ma... Che fai? La lasci lì? Me ne mancano 3 in alto e 1 a lato. In realtà è quasi pure ora di spegnere, porca miseria. Sta cavolata.
I'd like to speak to you. Hey there. Glad to see you again.
Prendiamo, ma...
Need something?
Bloccato richiede chiave, quindi neanche scassinarlo, va bene. Quindi le informazioni saranno là dentro, va bene. Poi che altro c'è? Salviamo che c'è il capo. Non ricordo di Goti che quando parlo dal capo mi
There's
uccide.
our other new recruit. So, now that we are all here, it's time to get down to business. The two of you are the only rooks that have made the latest cut. The rest, well, let's just say they won't be joining us ever again. Neva's willing to put her neck on the line and vouch for you, which means you've got what it takes to join the Crimson Fleet. You and everyone else on this station. Keep following orders, and you'll get paid. It's as simple as that. All right, let's get started here. When you sign up with the Crimson Fleet, you're in it for the long haul. No one quits. No one retires. The only way out is death. You stay loyal or you pay the consequences. Fleet before friends. Fleet before family. Fleet before yourself. Of course we have rules. If you think the Crimson Fleet was built on a lawless dream, think again. Our influence, our money, our respect comes from meticulous planning and every last soul in the fleet following my orders to the letter. That is why you need to learn to place the fleet before everything. Boss. Good. You're getting it already. I like that.
Can we get on with this? I want to get drunk at the last Nova.
I'm impressed. That is the first intelligent thing you have said this entire time, Mathis. Since you two seem so eager to move forward, let's get to your next job. Pack your cold weather gear, Rooks. Where we are going, you're going to need it.
Oh, God, don't tell me you're dragging him down to Suvarol for another one of your little initiation runs. 10 Johns to the surface, 12 dead Rooks. You'd think by now you would have given up on that goddamn campfire story.
Crix's legacy is no story, Neva. We've got fresh eyes in the fleet. And if these two want to impress, they're going to help me search those ruins.
I hope you're right, Dale. That new code we grabbed for the lot cost us a ton of credits. And a decent captain.
This initiation, as Neva calls it, is your chance to see where it all began. On Suvorov with Jasper Crix. Crix led the riots that gave birth to the Crimson Fleet. And if his legacy is still out there, we're going to be the ones to find it. Of course. Where else could I find such a perfect location to weed out any rooks who'd be wasting the fleet's time? Through a bit of luck and a hell of a lot of cash, Neva was able to get her hands on an access code to the inside of the lock. This will be the first time someone from the Crimson Fleet has set foot in there for, well, since Crix left the place behind. It has been frustrating being this close to potential clues, but not being able to find a way through those prison walls. Before Crix left the fleet, he left a message talking about a major score. One that would set up the fleet to be a big player in the settled systems. Somewhere down the line, they started calling it Crix's legacy. And everyone who's tried to find it has wound up empty-handed, missing, or dead. If we're gonna beat those odds, we'll first need a lead. And I would wager we will find one on Suvorov.
Dale's leaving out the best part. That this whole search is based on a handful of words on a very old slate. Crix left a lot of big talk on that recording, and not a lot of facts. Some of us believe in it more than others.
Don't listen to her. When we get our hands on Crix's legacy, the fleet will be operating at a completely different level. We will become more than a match for UC Sysdef. You forget the UC is still licking its wounds from the colony wars. They don't have the capability to mount a full-scale assault. And if they were foolish enough to attack, we would have the manpower to push those pendejos right back to Jemison. If we have Crix's legacy. Exactly. Now you're beginning to understand. Okay, enough discussion. We have got a lot of work to do. To that end, the next stop is the lock. I've had Jazz feed the coordinates into your ship's computer. Since Mathis doesn't have a ship, he's going to ride with me. I'll see you down there, Rook. Don't keep me waiting.
What kind of name is Sysdef anyway?
Is this important? Because I'm pretty sure you've been given orders.
As long as you put the fleet first, we won't have any problems.
SysDev probably thinks we're a bunch of mindless marauders. We here in Ops beg to differ.
C'ha un sacco di modi per scappare sto tizio, quindi.
Tell us what the future holds for the Crimson Fleet.
Changes are coming, Gale. Huge changes. Crimson Fleet will soon be a much bigger player in this little game between the members of the settled systems.
That's quite a bold statement. Would you care to elaborate?
I thought Delgado needed to know.
Well, let's just say that I'm on the brink of a score so large, it makes everything else pale in comparison. Beyond that, you'll just have to wait and see.
If you aren't willing to discuss the details, why grant SSNN this interview?
Simple. I refuse to allow the UC to spin or bury the story, making it sound like they're in complete control of the situation. I'm gonna tell you right now, they aren't.
Why does the Crimson Fleet need to make this mysterious move that you're being so evasive about?
I know SysDef instructed you to draw this meeting out as long as possible. So let me sum this up. I intend to make sure that the Crimson Fleet becomes the United Colony's worst nightmare. And nothing, I mean nothing in this universe, will stop me from achieving that goal.
There are those that would disagree with you and claim this interview is grandstanding, or worse, a recruitment tool. After all, SSNN reaches every corner of the settled systems, and your aspirations could inspire the Directionalist to turn to the
Don't you
fleet.
have business on Superworld?
You and the sheep that listen to your garbage can believe whatever the hell you want. If you were so worried about what I had to say, you wouldn't have allowed yourself to be brought here.
Were my instructions unclear? What do you want? I could tell you stories that would last for hours. But now is not the time. You have a job to do, and I don't like to be kept waiting. When you... well, if you get back to the key, I am sure you can find some copies of the interview he gave to SSNN around here, somewhere. I think those recordings might give you the history lesson that you are looking for. Yeah, I suppose. What did you want to know? Nobody knows exactly what went down. I mean, there's all sorts of rumors. Creeks was in prison for almost 5 years. And judging from the look of the facility, every moment must have been miserable. I suppose he just got fed up and decided to take matters into his own hands. Got the prisoners behind them and kept pushing until he reached the key. The cojones on that guy. UC's toughest supermax prison, and he just waltzed the hell out of there like it was nothing. I would love to have been a part of that. The UC built the lock as a supermax prison a little under... well, it must have been at least 100 years ago. Before that, those concha de sus madres marooned prisoners on the planet's surface and left them to their own devices. As you can imagine, these turned into some kind of demented survival of the fittest. Prisoners killing each other for a chance at meager supplies. Luckily, some whistleblowers back in New Atlantis saw this as cruel and unusual punishment and pressured the UC into building the facility. 5 years after the prison was completed, Crix touched off the riots that overran the lock and eventually the key. It's cold, bitter cold. Just about the last place you would want to find yourself without heat. The few living things that can survive the extreme temperatures are constantly fighting to stay at the top of the food chain. The Crimson Fleet called Suvorov the White Hell. To me, it's paradise. Someone up here pisses me off enough, I send them down to the surface for a little overnight visit. Snaps them right back into line. There is no deal. You and Mathis are two sides of the same coin. A couple of rooks fighting for a spot in the fleet. Only problem is that he is down a sheep and you are not, which puts you ahead. Just barely. Who knows? Maybe he'll get lucky and you won't make it off Suvorov in one piece. Fine. Then get moving.
So there I am. UC security on my tail, and my grav drive just shook. And you know what I find back there?
Vabbè, se ne riparla più tardi. Grazie che